Legends, welcome to the Inner Work Masterclass. I hope that you gain some amazing insight from this masterclass today, and that I can help you in some way to gain a better understanding of yourself and how you operate in this world. All right, so inner work. What is inner work? That's the big question, and that's why you're here. You may have some understanding of what inner work is. You might have done some sort of inner work on yourself, by yourself. But to truly gain a really like a deep understanding of who you are and how you operate in this world, the inner work that I do helps you realize exactly how you're operating in the world and how you impact others, like how your emotional state impacts others as well as how it's affecting you. What is inner work? It is learning about what triggers are and how you react to others in this world. So I'm going to just slow right down for a second. What's a trigger? So when you might see something online, or just say you're going through someone's stories on Instagram, and you stop on a meme in the story, and it says some sentences, and you don't agree with it, but you have like a body response. You're like, oof, and you read it again. You have a body response, and I don't like what they said, and you feel a bit funny inside, and you can't get it off your mind for a little while. Well, that's a trigger. So they've triggered you. And the reason why you feel triggered is because there's a part of you that isn't ready to own what they've said. So just say that the meme, it might say something rather, like, what's a good example? Just say, like putting all your troubles and, the bad things happening to you online. The reason people do this is because they're looking for external likes and comments, because they're not able to process this, themselves internally, and, they're looking for an external validation. Okay, so that's the example, and you might be like, oh, that's bullshit, like feel real triggered. Can't believe they say that. And the reason why you feel triggered is because it doesn't matter how big or small, but there's a part of you that is doing that online, what the meme in the story says, even if you're like, oh, that's bullshit. There's a part of you that's doing that. So it's a part of you that's not owning this part of yourself. And so that's a trigger. Inner work is how you feel during a conversation with someone, and this conversation can be a conversation that's not necessarily the person you're having a conversation with. Just say that they hold different views to you, like strong views to you. And if you've done the inner work, you'll feel like a sense of peace where whatever someone else says, it'll just bounce off you, because you are so convicted in what you believe and what you see that nothing anyone else says can bother you. So if you've done the inner work, then you'll be so convicted in yourself that you just will not be bothered by what other people think. And I know you know what I'm talking about. Just think to like when someone's like, they're extremely political minded in an opposing way to you, and it might just ruffle your feathers, to speak to them, or they bit of a drink, or they got really strong views about, just say they're racist, and you're not racist, but if you've done the inner work, it won't bother you. You'll be able to hear them speak and it'll just bounce off you and you'll be like, you'll have compassion for the unconscious behavior by the other. So how has inner work improved my life? So I've been on this journey for some years now, and like for me, in recent years, it's really improved my life. Like I have a better relationship with my wife. So I'm going to be raw and honest. I've always had a really good relationship with my wife, but like any couples, you know, we all have our ups and downs and our hiccups and our frustrations with our partners and, you know, all these things. So being more conscious and having more peace within has enabled me to have an even better relationship with my wife than I already had. And I can say it was already pretty damn good, but so you can imagine how good it is now. It's helped me be a more present father. So I have 2 kids. The inner work that I've done over recent years has helped me to learn even how to just hold space for like my 5-year-old boy, to be able to let him be him, because I've done the inner work. I've learnt about myself. I've even gone all the way back to my childhood and reflected through conversation, lots of conversations, and how my childhood was and how perhaps I was allowed or not allowed to show up as my true self. So what I do now is I try and be present with my 5-year-old. I let him show up as his authentic self and let him express who he is and who he came here to be. Okay, so like from my learning about myself and where I wasn't able to do that, so I'm letting you in on a little ticket here, I've been able to now see and make sure that I don't do the same programming that I had as a kid to him, and I'm letting him express himself as his most authentic self. Another way in which the inner work has helped me, especially in recent years, is to be less distracted by anyone else. And here's one for you, especially for the truth seeker. I know, because if you're here, I know you've somewhat had an awakening of some sort, but not to save anyone else and just to simply save myself. So doing the inner work has allowed me to have compassion and like an understanding of where another is, which once I would have been trying to save them, got to save them, the martyr, you know, got to save them. You know, how can I help this person see what they can't see? You know, all these questions used to be in my mind, and it was simply a distraction from saving myself and actually learning who the fuck I am. So that's the funniest part. When you're trying to save other people who haven't asked to be saved, mind you, it's just an ego distraction to try and save them rather than saving yourself. How easy is that to just be, you know, trying to save your friend, trying to save him, trying to save her, trying to save your partner, you know, trying to save your mum or dad, you know, trying to wake them up. They got to see it. They got to see it, whatever that is. And while you're doing that, and I know because I did this, while you were doing this, you won't be saving yourself. You're so distracted by saving them, when all we really need to do is save ourselves. So for me, years of trying to save other people who didn't want to be saved, it got to a point where I was so ill within myself. Sickness had started to really take a hold of my life, because I've so focused, ego distracted by saving someone else, I've forgotten to save myself, and I got sick and I was unwell. How's that one for you? And it took until that point of my sickness, feeling like absolute shit, that I finally had to make the conscious choice to save myself. And in that conscious awakening, I come to the awakening that I needed to save myself and to not worry about what anyone else was doing. So, yeah, incredibly, inner work helped me save myself and better my health holistically. Under the Chinese medicine model, I have higher life force now, more life and drive. That's why I'm even here right now creating this video for you, to help you. Because without the inner work, I wouldn't be able to help you either. So I've done the work and now I'm bringing this gift to help you so you can better yourself as well, because it's so important for all of us to piece this puzzle together and do the inner work and create a better world for our kids and our grandkids and the future generations. Am I keeping you following along? I'm sure I am, because if you're awakened, we're all here to create a better world, aren't we? I know you know this, I know this, we know this. All right. What makes inner work the most important work you do? It's the long-term benefits, all right? How does it compare to other self-development? You can do self-development, especially in your physical world. Can improve your fitness, improve your health. You can run, you can lift weights, get strong, make your bones stronger. All these things. You can do all different self-development work, which is amazing. But how this inner work will improve your life, it'll just bring so much more peace within for you. It'll create like a calm and peaceful sense of the self. So you'll just know yourself better. You'll be able to pull yourself up when you start behaving in an unconscious way. So, let's have a quick drink here. I'm going to put it this way. Doing inner work it's a lifelong commitment. That once you start, and once you gain a better inner standing of yourself, you really know how you operate in this world. So when you are operating unconscious, if you are reactive, you'll be able to pull yourself back. You'll be able to pause. You'll be able to reflect on a conversation you had and know how to pull yourself up from going unconscious, So sometimes I can have an unconscious thought, or being human, I slip up and I have a conversation, and if I do feel rattled or something, I'll be like, whoa, okay. Breathe and bring myself back to me and just, why do I feel this way? This is, very interesting. They see the language that I use. Everything's interesting. You're studying yourself. So it's the most important work you'll do. Honestly, because what do we all want? Oh, I know we want a better world outside of us externally. But none of that matters, because there could be the most beautiful things going on in this world, but if you don't have the inner peace, the good inner standing of yourself, then it doesn't matter how good the world gets outside there of you, you're still going to feel like shit. And it's just, no good, because no one wants to feel like shit every day. Not even sometimes. You want to have an unbelievable peace within to just be able to operate in this world and have the best experience that you can have, and show up in the best possible way for your partner and your kids if you're a mum or a father. So why do you need inner work? Well, I guess you got a few questions to ask yourself, how's your relationship with your partner? How's your relationship with your kids? You got to get real, raw and honest with yourself. I know you're at a good level in your inner standing of yourself. That's why you're even here to begin with, because you want to better yourself. If that wasn't the case, you wouldn't even be here. So do yourself a favour and take the next step from watching this masterclass, and that's to seek one-on-one mentorship from me, okay? Because I know that you're here for a reason, and the only reason that you won't take the next step is because you'll distract yourself, because that's what we do as humans, and go on our way. It's almost like this strange test to see how we can not be distracted, to actually know who we are and do what's best for us. So, yeah, as I was saying, if you want to get a better relationship with your partner and with your kids and with the people around you, want to have better relationships in your work environment, you want to be able to even just be able to not be bothered by other people that you work with. It's simple as that, just duck off for water off a duck's back. I was going to say it wrong. But you want to have more peace within. You want to, how you know you need the inner work? You want to be holistically so friggin' healthy, in mind, body and soul, that you're just a weapon in this world that we live. Like, if you're carrying stress in your body anywhere, because I can tell you right now, although I've always been a real active person and into trying to eat well and doing all the right things, for a while there I was still carrying stress in my body because accumulation over the years of all the trauma that was being held in my body, because I hadn't done enough inner work to release the trauma from my body, like from within through conversation. That's how I've released trauma. I was carrying stress in my body. So I had too many kilos down on my hips as a male. That's where I'd hold my stress. I can look at your body and I can tell you where you're holding stress, where your trauma is. And like I'm telling you right now, the only way to truly release that for good is through doing the inner work, because you can hit the gym hard. Like I used to train Muay Thai, I used to fight Muay Thai and train. Used to run 6 to 8 Ks every day and train for 3 hours in the evenings. But as soon as I stopped doing that, I put on the kilos in my hips, because I still was carrying around the trauma and the stress that was held in my subconscious mind. And as I say in some of my content online, the body keeps the score. So you heard of that saying before from me or another, the body always keeps the score. So for me, after doing the inner work, I'm really active right now. I surf every day, I skate, do a bit of Muay Thai still. But if I stopped all of that, I would stay lame. Unlike before the inner work, because I've released the trauma from my body. I've released the crap in my subconscious mind. Everything's remembered in the subconscious, and it shows in my body. All right, it shows in my holistic health. So yeah, so that's how you know you need the inner work. If you're carrying stress in your body, if you're having battles in your mind, like that, you get stuck on things that other people say or how other people behave. It's just reflecting back to you that you need to do the inner work on yourself. And don't feel bad about this. This is fucking awesome. Like, the fact that you're here watching this masterclass right now is so fucking awesome, and I'm fucking pumped for you. And you can see my passion with the F-bombs, but because it's the greatest work you'll ever do. It is soul development. A lot of people talk about personal development, but what I'm passionate about is soul development. All right? It's really, this is your soul's work. This is what you came here for, to get to the bottom of your mind battles and why you've got stress and illness in your body, okay? And here you are right now, ready to rock and roll and create a better life for yourself and do your soul's work. So, yeah. Thanks, guys, for coming this far, and I hope you've really enjoyed this masterclass, and that if you can just take one thing from this 25 minutes masterclass today and implement that into your life, into your inner work, then I'll be a happy man. If you're truly wanting to up level and get to the next level in your holistic health, your mind, body, and spirit, you want to do your soul's work, then get in contact with me and we can discuss my offerings for you to work one-on-one with me and reclaim your health and absolutely become that superhuman that you come here to be. That's like walks around like a wall of armor, you know what I'm saying? Like, just, yeah, I can help you do the inner work to create that peace within that you'll just thank yourself for doing. So, alright, cheers, guys. Hope you have a beautiful day or evening, whatever time it is. And I can hear all the noise going on upstairs. I'm not sure if you guys can, but that's my kids and Mrs. dinner time. So, looking forward to hearing from you guys soon.